Yo.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo,
Hey, man.
back.
Was able to finally get around to fixing the audio.
Yeah, we gotta figure it out now. We're back.
What?
So we're finally getting around now. We're back now. I heard a little
Okay, now I'm
I hear a little something in the background. You got a fan going or something?
It's an AC.
Hmm. I can actually hear that in the back.
Do I need to turn it off?
You might need to just for the podcast. I can just hear this. It's hard to explain the sound of it, but I'm not gonna try to
White
imitate.
noise.
I'm not gonna try to imitate the sound of an AC. It's kind of like
It's just white.
a
It's a shh.
yeah, something.
uh,
I can't. I'm not gonna try to imitate it, but that's perfect. That's beautiful right there. Can't hear nothing.
so we're live now.
We are live.
All right.
We are live, big time.
So I was finally able to get a new phone. To everyone who doesn't know, got the got something that I spent more money on than I should have. So I'm going to be paying this off for the next 2 years. That should be fun. By that time, 60 other phones are going to come out by that time. But I don't know. It seemed worth it. I have about 128 gigs of storage now, which means that's why I was able to get the Podbean app and call in instead of doing it over the phone, which frankly, in retrospect, didn't sound that great.
Well, I mean,
But
it didn't sound that great, but I mean, when you have no other option, you got to use the resources available. You know what I'm saying? But now,
yeah, I
yeah,
had a
this is beautiful. Like the quality, everything. Like this is perfect right here.
yeah, I just had a crummy phone earlier, and that's the primary thing that happened. And yeah, just stuff.
I think the most important thing is like this is like something new to us. It's not new to other people or the podcasts and all the other stuff. We're just trying to like figure out step by step. Okay, let's get familiar with this. How can we, what can we do to improve this? And boom, boom, boom. That's just all we're doing right now. It's not like we're gonna come out the gate as pros. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I noticed
This,
you've been saying like ever since we started the podcast, you say that phrase a lot.
what's that?
Boom, boom, boom. Like I feel like that's gonna become like a motif here at this point. I'm gonna see it on a shirt one day with our
Uh,
faces on it.
boom, boom,
The
boom.
Stodcast. Boom, boom.
I don't know why I say I don't even plan on like saying it. It's not. It's just like part of my. I don't know why I say that. I'll do that like when I'm telling stories or if I'm like just talking to somebody in general. I'll be like, yeah, so we went here and did this and boom, boom, boom. It's
I
like
wonder if that's an I wonder if that's like a New York thing, and that's why we
I
do
don't
it.
I don't know. Like I don't know where it started from. It's like I'm skipping over details of a story. Like, yeah, so we all got in the car, boom, 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 and then next thing you know, we're at the place we're heading.
Sounds like something you got from De Niro, like when he was in Goodfellas.
Oh man, I don't. I that's funny. I didn't even realize I was saying it that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought of bringing it up, but yeah, I've been. Before we get into the main topic, I guess since we do discuss music a lot, I guess we could talk about who we've been listening to lately.
Man, I was doing dishes earlier and stuff. I got the house to myself, which is a beautiful thing. Um, I literally within a 45-minute span, I listened to Sinatra, Judas Priest, Biggie, Eminem, Wiz Khalifa. Like I listened to all these artists in that short of like that was like all over the map. Oh, and Stevie Ray Vaughan. Like,
Oh yeah, I
oh,
remember I called you when you were
yeah,
listening
yeah,
to Stevie.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I
Flooding down in Texas.
yeah,
All
I
the
remember I
telephone
just
lines are down.
if you guys ever want to, like, there's a video of Stevie performing, and when he was in the middle of playing a solo, his
No,
high E string ended up snapping.
yep.
So what he this is like for anybody who wants to look up the video, but he ends up like he just goes back to singing. Somebody comes up behind him with another guitar, and as soon as he gets it in his hands, he starts playing it before they even put the strap
Yeah.
back on.
Stevie was crazy, man. Like he had so much like soul in his soul. I guess if you want to say it like that. Like
Yeah,
he could the way he just like blues just it just travels through you, you know. He like bled that shit. Like he was like
the way
even
I
as
see, huh?
God. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I swear, it's no matter what podcast you listen to, the people will always interrupt each other unintentionally.
Well, when we're like 2,000 or 2,500 miles away, it's hard because, you know, we don't have that face to face. You know, I can see when you're about to say something. Right now, we're like, nope, wait, no, nah, you go. It's okay, you go. No, I'll just wait. I'll just wait.
But I guess the way I see it, like Stevie, he kind of had sort of the emotion of BB King, but he had the energy of Hendrix. Like I could tell he was very clearly inspired
Wow,
by Jimmy. Granted, what guitarist isn't?
that's a great way to put it, though, man. Like what'd you say the what of BB King?
The emotion of
The
BB King
emotion of
and
BB
like the
King and the style of Hendrix. Yeah. That's a
and
great
like
way
the
to put it.
energy of Hendrix. Yeah.
Yeah. BB King, man. Oh, man, we're gonna get on a whole different topic here. We're gonna be talking about music for like an hour and be like, oh yeah, so anyway.
We'll leave that for another thing, but
Yeah.
like,
Back to what we were talking about.
well,
um
lately for me it's because I've been listening to Sinatra as well.
dude, I love
uh
Sinatra. Like
I
straight
know
up.
I know it's like one of his most popular songs, but Fly Me to the Moon, I just really like the,
Yeah.
well, granted, the swing rhythm is almost in like all of his songs, but I guess it's because like it's Quincy Jones who was composer of the orchestra that played, and then Count Basie was the one playing the piano.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why I
You
feel
should
so drawn to that one.
if you get a minute, there's a documentary on Netflix about Sinatra. You should give that a listen or give that a listen. You should watch it because it's it's totally awesome. It breaks down like every little detail about his career, his life, everything.
Yeah, and Dean Martin as well. I really like
Yeah,
his.
Dean Martin, like
He's got like this sort of charisma and like charmingness to it. That's not a
yeah.
word. To his voice, and his overall personality.
Yeah,
I
for
swear
sure.
to God, like my best friend Joey, he looks just like him. It's to the point where it's scary, and then I hear him singing some of Dean's songs, and I'm like, dude, you sure you aren't some distant relative of his?
Are you Dean Martin?
but uh, but in more metal context, yeah, I have been listening to primarily Priest. I mean, they're both, for both of us, it's our favorite metal band, but. Also, I listen to a little bit of Ozzy, but lately it's been
Oh
like a
yeah,
lot of
it's
Dio.
yeah. I mean, Dio, yeah, I like Dio too.
I've
Ozzy,
been hmm,
Ozzy is definitely my second go to on like metal music and stuff.
yeah. But when I was listening to Dio, like, because I've been listening to, like, his music career went back farther than I thought. Like, I think he's been doing music since like 1962, and he was doing way different, like, sort of more rockabilly kind of sound. You can go back and listen to it. You can definitely tell it's him, but he didn't really have that like grittiness in his voice yet. He sang primarily clean, but there is still a little bit of distortion in there. But when he started another early band he was in, like 72, he was with a rock band called Elf, which was kind of more bluesy, but I would say that was like when he had found like his true voice, and then he went on to be part of Rainbow with Richie Blackmore, then with Sabbath for a few albums, and expand into his solo career. And yeah,
Yeah, Sabbath was badass. It was hard to get used to Dio hearing them like with them, but uh, I
it's a
mean,
different dynamic. Yeah,
out of anybody that could have replaced Ozzy with, it would have been Dio.
yeah, and I don't know. I guess it just kind of makes me wish I had like a time machine. I could go back and see those performers I never got a chance to see.
Right.
Same, you probably feel as well. But anyways, what the hell we start this episode for?
Yeah, we got a little
everybody's look. Everybody's looking at the title like, when the fuck are they going to talk about what they promised?
yeah, like, oh, clickbait. Yeah, I got you.
We're, next one, we're gonna put some titties in the picture in the thumbnail. Kidding, we won't do that. Anyways, uh, I'll let you lead into this one since you're the better at pitching than I am. Like
Better at pitching.
pitching
Well,
like the subject.
I was a fan of baseball.
Well, I'm not a sports guy, so not primarily. Like I don't play them myself, or I did in the past, but anyways, you can go ahead now.
But yeah, so the big question is, uh, do you think life exists outside of Earth? What
While
do
I
you think?
can't really
What's your personal opinion?
personally, I have not a doubt in my mind, but whether or not it's like I do believe there's sentient life, whether or not it's complex like us, I can't really confirm. I don't know if there's other sort of like evolved human-like creatures that span far beyond ours. I mean, it would be a ghost of a chance, but um, I don't want to think that we're the only ones.
I don't think we are. Like, yeah, space is like we don't even know how big space is, and like how like we don't even know. So the chances of
Yeah,
like life existing in different galaxies and different planets and stuff we don't even know about, like I think it's possible, like big time.
yeah.
Like
I guess
we would be just as much aliens to them as they would be to us, you know?
they'd be. I wonder what they'd say about us. They'd be like,
I
"Oh,
don't
these fucking idiots haven't figured out how to use a sustainable source of energy yet. What the hell were they thinking?"
I don't know, man. Like I don't know. It's tough. It's like we don't have any proof of aliens any more than we do have proof of angels. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think it was during 2020, like this past year, actually, that there was released footage of unidentified flying objects, and
Yeah,
I remember
Reddit.
nobody talked about it because of all the crazy shit that was already going on that year.
Yeah,
We
you
were
talking
too worried about the goddamn virus, you know.
yeah, you
We
talking about
still are, but
that military video?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it. I can't remember who. I think it was the CIA that released it. I'm not too sure.
Oh,
It's been a
yeah.
while since I've looked into that story, but
Well, they had to. Like they don't have a choice. Like any information like that. Well, I mean, it's not like they have to, it's like they can by
I
law,
mean, we.
they can't, you know what I mean? Like they can keep stuff secret if they want. Like it's like, oh, if we don't just tell anybody about this, blah blah blah, risk, panic in the public and blah 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 and all this, So who knows?
Yeah, it's not like they kept secrets from us before. MK Ultra.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't kill me.
They've been keeping they've been keeping secrets from, And they do it.
Let's not.
Like they'll cover it up, being like, "Oh, well, we can't talk about that because that's classified information," and blah blah. Or we don't want to panic people and blah blah blah. Like that's bullshit. you know, I don't know. Like I think what Elon Musk is doing with you know trying to get to Mars and try to build a civilization on Mars, that's incredible. You don't see the
Yeah,
news talking about that all the time. You don't see them talking about, hey, like you know, he's building rocket ships that are reusable and you know the
they're
stuff
more
that
concerned with the like the virus and politics lately, and it seems
I
anytime
have.
they talk about the virus, even with the vaccine, they had like nothing positive to say.
Oh my god.
Like they
See,
kept saying how cases were rising
what's
everywhere,
what's
and
driving
it's
me
just,
what's
huh?
driving me up a wall is the past like 5 6 days. All I've seen, like every time I turn on the news or whatever, it's like mass shooting. This person shot this person. Boom, boom. This shooting, this shooting, shooting, shooting. It's like Jesus Christ. Like it's just bad stuff all the time. Like that's why I hate. That's why I hardly ever watch the news. But every time I turn the TV on, that's all you see is breaking news, headline news. Oh, this happened here, and boom, boom. We don't know what motivated this, and like a little kid getting shot. Like what the hell is going on? like like there's a lot of other good stuff that's happening in the world, but they're showing all this bad stuff because that's just what they do. But
It's pessimistic. Well, I think their way of understanding is if you keep the public in fear, they're going to continue to view the news, to view what's being reported on,
yeah,
which, like I said before, isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially if we are in a state of emergency. But
yeah.
I've noticed it's a frequent pattern.
Yeah, I mean it's all it's ever been. Only when there's like a celebration going on where they show like the Macy's Day Parade or Thanksgiving or New Year's, they'll be like, "Oh my God, such a great time, ha ha!" Like, yeah, but the rest of the year, this is what you're covering, and then they cover the most worst stuff. They like the whole topic of racism, that wouldn't even be a topic if they didn't talk about it all the time. If we could just be people and everybody gets along with everybody, no, they always got to say, "Oh, this person shot this person, he was this and they're this and there, right there,
You
bam.
we
Let's
can't
let's talk. Let's
la-
talk about it." Like, what the fuck?
like we can't be putting labels on people
Yeah,
because that'll
yeah,
only further separate people. And
yeah. Like, the more you
it's,
talk about it, the more it's still gonna be here. Like, how about we all just get along as one human race? Like, we're all humans on this planet floating through space. Like, let's try to make the most of it and let's try to get along as much as we can. Yeah, everybody has their differences and blah blah blah, and own beliefs and whatever. But like, the more you talk about it, the more you know, like, it's tough because like sometimes it needs to be talked about in order for it to be brought to light. But at the same time, they overdo it when they separate. They talk about it, but they separate people. That's the problem. It's
and
like,
and that goes against the very idea of unities. Even like Morgan Freeman brought this up on a interview that he did a few around 4 or 5 years back.
yep,
He says that like once we stop referring to each other by race is how we'll continue to further strive
yeah.
for the
Like he
better.
was
And
like yeah, like he was talking about yeah, he in that interview, I believe, he was like the interviewer was like, "So what's your opinion on Black History Month?" And he was like, "I hate it." He goes, "When's White History Month?" He's like, "Why are you labeling my history down to 1 month?" Like it should be celebrate like we should just celebrate everybody like all the time. Like we're all on this planet. We're all breathing the same air. We all bleed. Like what's the difference between me and you? Like my skin color, like or my race, my religion, like none of it matters at the end of the day. Like why are we
it's
talking
who you
about it?
are as a
Yeah.
person, your soul, and
And
the
it's like
strength of who you are.
yeah, it's like and back to this whole like, going planet to planet and making human life exist outside of Earth. Like, do you think any of that's gonna what does any of what we were just talking about matter when it comes to that? Starting a new civilization on Mars, and then doing that, and then going forward from there. Like, what does any of what we just talked about matter when it comes to that? If you're just like switching topics really quick, like bam, like
Yeah, it's just something that I'm hoping will benefit all of us, and everything will go to plan because everything can get. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to colonize um, other planets, Mars specifically,
he gets really in
considering
depth.
they're.
He gets really in depth with it. Like he talks about I'm slipping on the word right now, but he's talking about like how they could, build like CO2 into the air and then turn that into an atmosphere and then create like a sun. Like, oh man, terraforming. That's what they call it, terraforming. Like, I read about this a long time ago. Like, they would go there and build like pods either underground or on the surface. I think it'd be smarter to do it underground, like go up there and dig, and he talks about making sustainable life on there as if you're able to grow stuff and like if the supply ships from Earth stopped coming, the people that were there would be able to survive. You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
kind of like Matt Damon on The Martian.
yeah,
You know,
that's what I was thinking. I
that's a
don't know if
great
I could
movie,
live on
man.
it. Yeah, I don't know if I could live on a diet of just potatoes though.
I mean, if that's all you had, I get it, but at the same time, yeah. I mean, I don't know if like living by yourself for that long, not knowing if you're gonna live or not.
Probably have some detriments to your mental state.
Well, that's the
That
thing.
that
You would need a very strong like mental, you know, you
I guess that
can't overthink things.
yeah. Um, I guess that was the one thing that always, even though I love the movie Castaway, like the main thing that got to me, they didn't evaluate this guy's like mental state whatsoever after being stranded completely by himself for around 4 years,
Yeah. That's
not in
why volley
contact with anyone, and
that's
talk to a
that's why
volleyball. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
goddamn movie got me to cry over a volleyball.
Yeah, I saw that. Like Tom Hanks, the only man I know that can make me cry over a volleyball. That
Yeah,
was a great
but
movie.
I do remember because we have brought up Elon before, like with Neuralink, and I
Yeah.
think and with SpaceX we've also mentioned before, and I just think it would benefit us, like, but I guess it just worries me because you wouldn't want greed to get in the way and not have like um those who are higher in society to, I guess, have more of a benefit from it as opposed to everyone else.
Yeah, I think like he
I'm
talked
not
about
speak I'm not speaking of Elon, but just
yeah.
um
Well, he talked about this too that like I forget if somebody asked him the question or whatever, but that he was like they're like, say we do kind of colonize Mars, um will there be a government? And if so, what type of government would be there? And boom, boom. But it's like, I don't know if I would want the type of government we have right now because, like, depending on the amount of people, like, say you had 50 people there, like, would you really need a government? Nah. You're all there for the same purpose. You all, like, you know, it's tough. I don't know. Like, unless we had a whole planet of people, it's like, why do you need a government? Like people would be there just to survive and work as a team, and I guarantee there wouldn't be so much separation in people if there was no government. If everybody was just like, okay, we're here, this is what we're doing, let's try to make this the best we can, and let's try to, because I think once you involve politics, things get separated. you know
yeah, but I guess you wouldn't want anarchy either, but I
I don't
guess
know
it's
if
just
there.
finding that balance.
Well, I don't know if there would be. You know, like this would be the beginning of human. It would be like a restart, and say based on the amount of people you had there, and if they all had qualifications, because obviously you wouldn't just pick people off the street and send them up to Mars and say, "Hey, like, help colonize this place," help grow this, and you'd have to have certain qualifications. So in the beginning, there might not be any of that. There might not even be a conversation. It would just be, hey, let's. It would be like the first time a human race together was like working completely in sync for a greater cause without looking for any reward, I guess. And so they would be in charge, each person would be in charge of their own destiny type thing. And I think if you were to add a government or politics or any of that, now it turns into, well, do this and do this and do that. Like you're free, but you're not really free. Like I'm free to eat a sandwich whenever I want, but I'm not free to like not pay taxes or, you know, I can't do that. Like you would need a certain law because it's human nature, it's not like you got robots up there. And I guess you would need some sort of line of, okay, let's not cross this. Let's make the best out of this we can. But I think people would automatically naturally know that because one, you're on a whole new planet and you are the beginning creation of this new life on this new planet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and if
I don't
something
know.
goes wrong, you all die.
Yeah, it's deep. It's very deep. Like everybody has their own job and their own thing, and it's like you can't just wake up and be like, I don't feel like doing that today. Like, nah, you would have to really be committed. And not only that, once you're there, you're gonna be there for a minute. Like we can only get there once every 6 months. So people would know, like, yeah, I was on the second trip, or I was on the third trip to Mars, or boom, boom, boom. So, and the thing is, too, is like right now we got the rover, and the fact that we even got that wandering around on another planet, that's mind blowing. You know?
I believe Perseverance is the name.
Yeah, yeah. I
If
mean,
I can remember correctly,
yeah,
I don't know.
but
I think they sent that one up there a few years ago, though, because Perseverance has been up there a while.
yeah.
But
And as technology, you know, grows more and more, obviously the trips are going to get a little quicker, and supply missions, and we'll be able to send up this, and develop equipment for people to dig and build greenhouses and little hubs, if you want to call them that, like little bubbles for people to live in, and food supply, and let's try to make water, and it's so much, but the fact that it's doable is crazy. you know
yeah, I just hope we don't like try to commercialize anything about colonizing space.
I don't.
Because I remember I was watching. I remember. I know this sounds like a weird thing to bring up, but so when I was watching uh, Wally a while back, and when he's hops on the ship on the course to get to the Axiom after they picked up Eve, when they passed the moon, like a little sign popped up saying that new shopping mall coming soon. And I'm like, please no, shopping mall on the moon, just that. And it was funny because George Carlin also brought that up on like a comedy special like some 20 years ago. That if we like trying to commercialize something about space or try to make it like materialistic in a way,
Yeah.
and I don't want it to
I
be
mean,
about that.
well, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that it would probably, unfortunately, get to that point. Not anytime soon. We're talking like years and years and years and years down the road. You know, after after it would become normal. You know what I mean? Right now, it's like, oh, you're going to the moon, you're going to Mars. What? Yeah, right. I'm talking like to the point where people are actually boarding the ship and then we're going and it's a regular thing to travel back and forth, and Mars is starting to get colonized and there's a Mars colony, and or the moon for that matter, and this is like a regular thing. That's when things will start getting okay, let's bring the life that we live on Earth here, especially with technology. It's almost unavoidable. Um, and this, I mean, obviously, this is just my opinion and speculation, but I can see it happening. Not immediate, because I think it's such a serious thing and it's so deep that I don't think it'll get played with as like the normal, you know, thing. You know what I mean? I think it'll be more serious and people will take it serious and it'll be a huge thing for a while, but once it becomes normal and just a regular thing of life, we'll probably in the next like 20, 30 years we might have like live broadcasts like, these astronauts on Mars, how's things going? Boom boom, and you'll turn on your TV and, you'll see, oh, we're talking to so and so on Mars and how's things going. All great. We set up the greenhouse and we got plants growing, like the first, corn growing on Mars or the first potato or, whatever. I think that's definitely doable in the next probably like hell, the rate we're moving now, maybe 10 years, maybe less, maybe 5. That's insane, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I guess what I meant was like not necessarily like trying to make life on other places other than Earth more like, I guess, what is considered like standard for us, but I don't want it to become to the point where humans just become even more lazy than what they already are. Like, I don't want us to be on little hover chairs, all obese, just floating around,
Uh,
getting.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully,
I'm just
hope,
referencing that movie again, but it's just.
hopefully there won't be like fast food on the moon or Mars. Like,
Ugh.
oh, Mars Burger King, come by and get your Mars Whopper today. Like, hopefully that won't be a thing. No, I really think that it would be such a huge step in humanity that people would take it serious. Like I said, people would take it serious until it got normal. The minute it gets normal and just another everyday thing, think about when the iPhone first came out. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, the iPhone, this, that, boom, boom, boom," and everybody's rushing to get this iPhone. Now it's like, you don't have an iPhone? Oh, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like once things become normal, that's when things become like not so uh like taken care of or interesting, I guess, if you want to say it like that.
It's just seen as like another standard in life, and we can't picture ourselves without it.
Yeah.
And another thing that worries me, I don't want to this space colonization um, to be sort of trying to think of a way to phrase this, but I don't want it to just be a reason for us to abandon Earth or
Nah,
like
I don't think it'll be like an abandonment of Earth. Like, I don't think that's what it is. It's just getting other options available in case we have to, you know. I would hope
yeah
that whatever the next move we make as a human race, I would hope that we take what we know that has happened throughout history here and start fresh on this new planet. Like, okay, let's focus on 100% renewable energy. Let's focus on 100% like the evolution and growth of the human race. Let's not get trapped in, you know, this this cycle of just downward spiral. Like, yeah, we there's been major accomplishments. Did you know back when the car was first invented, like the gas powered car was first invented, like Henry Ford days and all that stuff, like the first actual automobile, there was just as many gas powered engines as there were electric. And then they found out that, okay, the electric only gets you this far. It's twice the amount of money and work to make this sustainable, but we can just drill and have this natural, you know, um, renewable gas. They looked at it at
It's
the
not.
time. It's not renewable. Like at the time though, they only had a certain amount of cars and a certain amount of, they looked at it as this never ending, like it was twice the amount of, like, it was twice as easy to build a combustible type of engine, and it was twice as like easy to just drill and get this gas, and it was faster, it was this and that, and they kind of scrapped the idea of electric cars. Can you imagine what would have happened if they went the other route? Like, yeah, let's figure this out though. You know what I mean? Isn't that crazy?
Maybe we wouldn't be so fucked. We wouldn't be so fucked, like
Well, I
environmentally
think
wise.
at the time, I think it was just a matter of volume,
Yeah.
because think about it, they pushed like, say, they pushed like 10,000 cars this production year, Model Ts or whatever. You just push 10,000. That's 10,000 people on the entire planet that would be running these cars. So they're looking at this never ending, like, oh man, we have plenty of fuel we can drill, and it's not gonna, they weren't even thinking about the impact on the environment and all that, but you think about every single vehicle that stops at the gas station and fills up and all that. And I'm a petrol head, man. I'm all about like big engines and cars and this rah, but at the same time, you really like break it down and think about it, that does have an impact, you know, and the fact that we are building cars now that can have this type of impact, like just like they're almost self-driving, and you go and you plug it in for a minute and, you know, boom, boom, boom. That's crazy. I said boom, boom, boom again. I just caught myself saying
You said it a couple of times, but yeah.
it. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm hoping that like by that time we do have like something more sustainable because if I find out that any of the oil companies take control of space colonization, I'm
I
going to
don't think,
war.
no, that wouldn't happen because the amount of money it would take to drill it here and then send it via shuttle, that wouldn't happen. They would have to find some other source like solar energy, something. Um, that wouldn't happen.
Because
Like the amount of money that would take, and it wouldn't be like feasible. Even Elon talks because Joe Rogan asked him, he's like, "Do you ever see like any time in the future that space shuttles be propelled by something other than jet fuel or other than fuel?" And he said, "No." He's like, "Not in our lifetime." He goes, "They could probably invent something way down the road that maybe gets us out of the atmosphere and travel through space and enter atmospheres of other planets. It needs to be very powerful. So, you know, use it for that type of thing. But I don't know. It's tough. It'd be nice to see, you know.
yeah, I
Even like
just
that's that's why they're experimenting with like nuclear power. Like, yeah, nuclear power, like that could, you could have a almost forever sustainable thing, but you got to think about the negative effects of that. I mean, look at Chernobyl. That's what could happen if it goes wrong.
meltdown could happen. And a detonation.
Yeah, global radiation. Like, I mean, we're getting radiation every day from the sun,
Every
but yeah,
yeah. Thankfully, we have the ozone, which
yeah.
hopefully sticks around for a little bit longer, or else we'll be fucking dead.
Well, that's
Well, everything will be fucking dead at that point, not just
yeah,
us.
right. Well, that's why they're. That's why getting to other planets and other continents, like starting fresh somewhere, is so important. You know, like we can't ride this out forever. Like we've already started this experiment a long time ago, and we didn't know it. But in the beginning, it was a downward curve. Like there was no winning option to this. Yeah, it got us by for a little bit, but in the end, it's not. It's like a bottles of beer on the wall. You know, we started off with 100 bottles of beer on the wall. You know, it's only going to count down. You know, you don't go 100 bottles of beer on the wall, 101 bottles of beer. You know, like it's not it's not going to get better. It's only going to be getting worse. And yeah, we might have quite a bit of time, and we might look at that as well. That's a lot of time, you know, to reverse it. We're not really reversing that much, you know.
They're
Something
not
bad,
thinking ahead. That's their
some
detriment.
well, you know, some you know, the real actual like scientists and stuff like that, you know, they are thinking that way, but it's hard to convince an entire population of the human race of the world to be like, hey, this is a serious problem. One, to get them to believe it, and two, like there's so many people that are accustomed to their regular lives now, you know, that anything other than that, they can't like, you know, no way.
Yeah,
Look how much this virus has thrown people for a loop, has taken people out of the reality, and look how many people have dealt with it. And look at the chaos that's come from it. Just from this virus that's not even as deadly as like the plague, or, you know, any it's not it's this is just like a little wake up call to like, hey, this is how bad things could get, but we haven't even reached that peak yet to where things could get really, really bad. You know, and look how much this has shook the world. Can you imagine if they were like, hey, there's a, you know, asteroid the size of half of America heading toward Earth right now, and there's not much we can do to stop it? Can you imagine the global panic that would happen? Can you imagine? There would literally be a purge. Like we wouldn't know how to handle that type of shit. We would literally be, it would be chaos. And I think that's at the same time, for the government, you know, I to a certain extent, honestly, straight up, I get why they don't talk about some of the things they do, because you gotta think everybody on the planet is listening to what you're about to say, and they're putting trust in you that, okay, well, if they're saying that, that's got to be the facts. That's one, a problem, but at the same time, it's also a huge responsibility. You know, like if you were to be like, you know, hey, this huge thing is happening tomorrow, and we're sorry, but there's nothing we can do. There, think about the chaos that would happen. You know, like we ain't ready for that shit.
yeah. It's just because there are certain natural disasters that could happen at any time, like the super volcano that's at Yellowstone. It could erupt at any moment right now, but we
Yeah,
have no way of predicting
yep.
it.
We were just
It'll
talking
just
about that. Yep.
it'll just happen, and there's nothing we can do. There's no point of freaking out over it, anyways. But it could be tomorrow or 5,000 years from now.
Yeah. Like you literally
So
don't.
there's your heads up.
Yeah, like you literally don't know. Like the sun could explode the next week, you know, like we have no idea. So,
Well, maybe not explode, but solar flares that
yeah, solar
could knock
flare.
out
Yeah,
all of our electricity
yeah,
or fry our ozone layer,
yeah.
which is
Like they talk about that. Like, you know, there was probably a planet closer to the sun than Mercury. You know, it probably got swallowed up by the sun because it just keeps expanding and expanding and expanding. So pretty soon, you know, hundreds of millions of years from now, Earth might be next on the list. You know, like what are you
it's
gonna
going
do
to be
then?
like a few billion, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
eventually
like,
going to happen. Yeah,
yeah, like what are you gonna do then? And that's what Elon Musk talks about. Like, do you
humans are
want a
going to be
future?
fucking dead by that time. We're going
Yeah,
to be
like
extinct
do
by
you?
that time.
That's what he talks about. Like, do you want a future where we just kind of chill on Earth and live out as long as we can, use up all its natural resources, and just that's it. We're on Earth and that's it. Or do you want like us exploring space and traveling far and like really you know seeing what's possible instead of just like settling for yep no our future is Earth and that's it and boom boom boom.
Yeah, because um, even though we're just sort of a grain of salt in this ever expanding universe, I also don't want it to breed this idea of nihilism that nothing that we do matters, because we have to keep in mind that even though we may not, humans may not matter that much in like a much more grand or broader scale, we have to like value what it is we do have and the time that we're given, because we won't stick around for as long as everything else will. So um but I guess this was something I wanted to bring up, like something that we're gonna miss. uh I think it'll be about 4.3 billion years from now. I don't even think the Earth will be a sustainable planet then. But the Andromeda system is going to collide with the Milky Way, and it'll be visible from the night sky.
Yeah.
You can like look up reference images for it, but of course we won't live to see that. But now that I think about it, would we really want to?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
by that
that's
time, like, it won't be a livable planet. The
yep.
Earth's temperature would rise to the point where almost like little to no life could be on there, especially not ours.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like I really think like that's our best option to really like keep life going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm just hoping that everything just kind of goes well from there, because I know that we're just, as anything can happen, like, really, as I had said before. And sorry, I'm just trying to think of things at the moment. Shit. I should have had like a little piece of paper left on my desk or whatever, so I could lead to my next talking point. But I guess I'll wait for him to get back and bring this up to him. But I guess like the another thing regarding like black holes, I guess is something that's always fascinated me. It's terrified me as well, but for me, personally, I guess I sometimes wonder, like, if hypothetically you were to go, or be sucked in rather by a black hole, if there's like what is on the other side of it, and where will it lead you to? Granted, you're definitely not going to survive it, but it's just sort of something that crosses my mind. I guess really, uh, straying away from that, but also like what other um like galaxies like besides ours, like us exploring Andromeda would be a big step. It's definitely not going to be something that most of us will live to see, realistically speaking. But um
Yeah, not living to see it, but see the beginning stages of it. I think it's just it's so cool. You know what I mean? I wish the news would like cover more of what he does. Like they barely even talk about him. He got more he Elon Musk got more uh like the news talked about him more hosting Saturday Night Live than they did any of like Neuralink, the boring tunnel, Mars, SpaceX. It's
It's
sad.
they yeah, I guess they're not concerned with anything more pertinent. Also, how much of that did you hear?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you don't hear,
No, no, I meant like no, I meant like with me because
oh, yeah. No, I know, I heard it all.
I got onto the topic of like black holes, and I guess a part of me want, even though nobody would ever survive something like that,
Man,
if there's anything else beyond it,
yeah, like
and
we
what.
were just watching some stuff on black holes the other day. Uh, that shit's scary, man. Like we don't know shit about black holes and like what they're capable of and just all that. Like we don't know any of that.
Yeah, it's one
I hear it
well one
clicking.
X.
I hear it clicking in the background.
Oh, I'm fiddling with my earbud case.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
fidgety thing.
Oh, I can hear
If you guys didn't know I had ADHD already, now you do.
it. I can hear like a fan or something going on in the back too.
That's a vacuum. They're vacuuming the floors right
Ah,
now.
oh my god. Of course they're vacuuming right now.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I need to like find a place for myself so I can record shit. And
Yeah,
earlier, like the neighbors were outside talking like pretty loud. In fact, it sounded like they were yelling, and I was just like, "Please, not right now."
right. Yeah, that's why I'm excited about moving to the new house because I'll have like an entire podcast room where I can just be in my own zone.
Yeah, and like personally, because you got me into the idea of tiny homes, and I ended up talking to you about the yurt that I was looking at.
Yeah,
There's actually a place in Montrose or Montreux. It's here in Colorado. That you can have a custom one built for you. You can get a prefurbished one, but I think I go with a custom one. I'd have like a loft and everything put in, so I can be under the dome, have like my bed under the dome, so I can like see
yeah,
the stars and the rain and all
yeah. I
that.
thought I thought those were like really, really super cool. Like I would definitely
Yeah,
live something like that.
I love because I noticed with a lot of the tiny homes, I feel like I would end up I'd feel way too crowded in there. But when it comes to the yurt, I don't think I'd have that problem because everything's just a circular structure and everything's
Yeah,
pretty open.
I think you'd be quite surprised. You'd be quite surprised, and like how much you can really get away with room wise in there. Man, that vacuum is driving. Oh man.
Turn the
um,
fuck off.
but like I think you'd be surprised of how much, like how used to that you would get. You know what I mean? Like having that type of space, living in that type of space, and realizing like how little you can get by with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember I brought this up to a few people at work, and they're like, "What? 500 square feet? That's not enough. What are you like?" They think I'm so weird for it. I'm just like, you're not following me here. It's gonna work cost wise, and you guys are always saying how high the goddamn rent is and how hard it is to find a house. Well, here's a fucking concept for you. And
Yeah. I don't think like I would love it. I would love the fact of just like having a little cabin, even if it's something you temporarily lived in. Just like a little getaway. Think about it. Like you got solar panels on your roof. You can power the entire place just with those. You can have your own natural water source if you're in the right spot, and then like just living in it. Period. Especially if you made it mobile. You know,
okay, now they're blasting music out there.
it's fantastic. I love the timing of all this. It'd be
You guys
really
find
cool.
this entertaining? Good, because fucking probably not gonna stop for a while.
um, I can't wait to where I'm excited about moving back to the house in New York and you know, kind of starting that all up. We'll be there in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm just hoping things are gonna improve. It's gonna be kind of odd being back in that town, though.
Yeah, when you come and visit and stuff. We can do a we can do an actual in-room podcast for those listening. It'll be the first time me and him are actually in the same room doing a podcast.
We'll
I've
have to we'll have to let you guys know when that happens.
Yeah,
We'll have to set up some
we'll do a live from New York session.
uh,
Cuz right now we're
on
24/7.
Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah, Saturday Night Live. Live from New York, it's Saturday night. I can't say that. Copyright. I didn't say that. I'm just kidding.
And there goes any chance that we had of making money off this stream.
Great. Now I gotta call a lawyer.
Fuck, now we're gonna get sued by. We can't even afford this goddamn court. I can't afford a lawyer. I'm gonna have to like get some really like scummy one
Yeah, like you
you'd
guys get
find
pro
on the
bono.
street.
I'll pay as I go. How about that?
Or you get somebody that isn't even a judge. You like find some crackhead on the side of the street. You just throw a suit on him.
Yeah, yeah. He'll
I'll
be like,
pay you
"I'll
in
do it. I'll
crack.
do it." He'll be like, "Oh hell yeah, give me $20. I'll do it."
But anyways, shit. I'm trying to think of like what other
Well, I'm just excited to get back, and for those who don't know, I got a kid on the way, which I'm hoping will be a boy.
his
Yeah,
fear is that if he has a daughter, he's going to be very protective of her and he's going to
yeah.
kill anybody who tries to
I
even
would.
bother her.
Well, I think that's anybody with a daughter. I mean, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Like, you know how people are. So it's like you're gonna be in a constant worry. I mean, I'm being a constant worry with a boy too, but I don't know. I'm excited about it. I'm not as like if it was like 6 years ago, I've been like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? But right now, I'm more or less in a state where I'm just like, it's kind of cool, you know. I get to like teach this little human everything I know. Like, hey, listen to this music, and like let me teach you this and let me teach you that. That's the cool part about like it's just it gives you a whole new understanding on life. Like I'm no longer living for me. I mean, I am like me and my own goals and what I'd like to do with my life and all that. Like I am living for that. Obviously, I want to better myself every day, but at the same time, it's like I'm not so caught up in what I got going on. Now it's like I want to try to make the best life for this little guy. You know, like I don't know. It's weird. It's different. I don't know how to explain it really. It's
Reminds
a
me,
very
reminds me of the fucking episode on Family Guy where like Brian's explaining what it's like to be a father and Quagmire's like, yeah, I totally agree, man. And he's like, no, until you have a kid, you will not understand.
yeah. I don't know. Like when we went to a I'm not gonna go into like detail, obviously, but like we went to an appointment the other day and like I heard his heartbeat. I keep saying he, but I'm that confident that it'll be a boy.
Yeah,
Um,
their heartbeat. I guess we can go with that for now.
the
Good.
heartbeat, and I saw him moving around, and it literally like took me like I was just like, wow, like it's so crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's so crazy the fact that I created this little human being.
We won't go into detail how, but you know.
Well, the stork dropped off a baby at my doorstep. Um,
Oh, that reminds me of Adam's Family Values.
yeah, like I don't know. Like it's just a cool. I don't know, man. It's cool. I'm looking forward to it. And I just making the best little life I can. Period. You know what I mean? like especially moving back to the house and getting that set up and everything, you know. And
I'm gonna do
just
some revamping, especially with the basement. I think if you're able to, maybe you could just make like a little man cave out of it if that's at all possible.
well, I was gonna make a man cave out of the garage.
The garage, yeah, I think would work better. I don't know what to do. I guess just develop the basement a bit more. It would be my suggestion.
Well, what I was thinking is it's big enough to pour like concrete, pour a fresh floor in there, put up some walls, and make it like a finished basement. And I always have wanted like my own little movie theater, you know, put a few chairs,
That's
projection screen over in the corner, block it off like an actual movie theater, stream some new
sur-
movie. You know what I mean? I think that would be
surround
cool as shit.
sound. Yeah,
Hell yeah,
yeah.
man. Put a little
You could have
popcorn maker.
the red curtain, and then you could bring your own snacks and not have to pay $8 for a bag of M&Ms.
Dude, we went to the movies the other day. We saw the new Conjuring movie. It was me, my girl, and her sister. We paid $74 for the three of us for a medium popcorn and two drinks and the three movie tickets.
It's
$74.
you
Bro,
know what you need.
what? What the fuck? He said, "Oh, 74 blah blah blah." I was like, "Are you are you kidding me right now?" Like, what?
I even like when I went to the movies with mom. This was when around the time the Joker first started premiering in theaters. Um, when I went there, I asked the staff. I was like, "Why do your guys' snacks, popcorn, and sodas cost so much?" And he's just like, "Honestly, man, I don't know." I'm like, even the employees don't know. I'm convinced this is like some money laundering operation. Like with like
Like,
it's the same theory with the fucking mattress firms, I swear to God.
dude, we have two mattress firm where I live right
I
now.
saw three. I saw
Yeah,
three when I was visiting you. Three on the same
yeah,
fucking street.
on the same street within 2 miles of each other. Something is conspiracy. There's something going on. I'm telling you. There's some money laundering thing going on underground, something like that. I don't know, but something's up. Like people were like who the hell is gonna be like, well, I like that mattress firm, but this one 500 feet down the road, I like them a little more than these guys.
There
Like
aren't even that many. Like I've seen more fucking mattress firms than I have Starbucks, and like if
we
you got
literally
more
have
fucking if you got more mattress stores than fucking coffee shops, something's up.
people are sleeping more than they're getting coffee.
It's
I
the most
dude,
ironic shit ever.
speaking of Starbucks, man, I was never like a huge fan of Starbucks. I didn't know what to order, how to order it. I felt like Kevin Hart, like give me a tall, small. So I want it with the blended. Like I didn't know what to get, but honestly, there's like this white chocolate mocha ice drink or whatever is delicious. It's like $6, so I don't get it that often. But
Yeah,
oh my god, like it completely changed my whole opinion about Starbucks. Like
because I
talking about it.
remember. I think the only drink I tried there was a bit of a caramel macchiato when you came over here to visit.
Yeah, I
We were
mean
in
that's pretty.
Estes Park.
That's pretty good, but yeah, I don't know. But
I tried their cake pops,
yeah,
which
I've never tried any of that.
they're good. They're sugary, unhealthy, but you know they're not too bad. Um, where do we go from here?
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's not. It sucks to get like tied up in that type of stuff and like actually like go out and like spend like I really don't like going out that much. I'm more or less a homebody. Like I'd rather man, what is going on over there?
What do you mean?
I just hear a bunch of background noise.
Yeah, I
But
don't
I
know.
like me, I much rather like just like chill at home, cook a good meal, jam some tunes, be in my own like little world for a minute and stuff. But like as far as going out, I enjoy it here and there, but I don't like going out that much.
You cracking open a beer?
Yes, sir.
right here on fucking stream,
Yes,
right here
sir.
on the show.
Sponsored by Miller Lite. I'm just kidding. No sponsor. There is no sponsor.
If we could get sponsors in the future, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, speaking of sponsors, I have thought about some ideas of who we could sponsor, or who I guess if we ever got to that point. Dollar Shave Club's one of them. Uh, I'm throwing out ideas here. This
I've
isn't
never,
once again. I'm not.
I've never heard of them.
So Dollar Shave Club, they're like this subscription based service. For like $5, you can get like a whole shaving kit. You'll get the razors. Um, you can get like this pre shave like rinse or face cleaning stuff, and then this stuff they call shave butter, which is like shaving cream, except it doesn't obscure any of the hair on your face. Like it goes on completely clear and it doesn't foam up, so you can
Hmm.
see exactly where you're shaving. I've never tried it out personally. I've just been using Harry's razors, but
That's so funny. You use Harry's. So do I.
yeah,
I have the Harry's shaving cream. I have the Harry's razors. I
yeah.
really would like to. I want to mess with that Manscaped stuff because I want to know what it smells like.
That's another product that I've noticed gets sponsored a lot. They came out with their new lawnmower 4.0.
I
Granted, that's kind of an awkward product to talk about. You know what I mean?
I would just like to know how it smells because I'm all about smells. Like I've always loved colognes and
Oh
uh
yeah, because they have like deodorant and stuff that you can get. Yeah,
yeah. I just want to know what it smells like. That's all. I tell you what, I bought this Gucci cologne stuff. I kind of splurged. That's literally all I buy myself. Like is a cologne once a year. That's my
I,
gift to me. But this shit smells so good. I can't even explain it to you.
yeah. See, the thing is with me, like I've never really used cologne because I never go out or see anybody for me to have a reason to use it. You know,
Well,
like
I just use it to use it honestly. Like I don't really have any specific reason for it other than my girl. Obviously, I want to smell good for her and all that. But like I'm just like, whatever. I just like
yeah,
knowing I have it.
yeah. I ain't got no one yet.
You're still young.
Yeah. It does bother me though, like, cause I have like all my coworkers. Like, it got especially bad last night, where I'm starting to notice a pattern that almost like all of them like to put me down and treat me like I'm
Well,
inferior because of my
well,
age. And they're
you
not a manager. They're not my
they're,
boss. They're just
they're just older than you.
yeah,
That'll happen again and again and again. Man, you better get used to that. You just gotta learn that you're there for you and that's it. Like just have that attitude that, you're not there to impress or do anything with anybody else. I hear a lot of background noise over there, man. What is up?
I was moving my table a little bit. I'm only using a fold out table. Will they stop fucking making? I swear to God.
Timing is everything.
I'm so fucking. Anyways, but yeah, I don't like it when your coworker acts like your fucking boss, because you're not. And if I'm being honest, like my actual manager is a lot more calm and the least aggressive out of like everyone there. Like my coworkers have like freaked out on me more than my manager has, and that's what I find ironic.
Well, you'll have that at any regular job that, unless you're like a boss or an upper bigwig and all that, you're always going to have problems with people. And that's just the nature of the game. It's like when you go out to public, like you're always going to run into somebody you don't get along with or, whatever. You just got to, at the end of the day, you got to remember that you're there for you. You're trying to better your life no matter where you're working. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Just take pride in your job. Like, you think I like my job? I bust my ass, man. I break my back 50, 60, 70 hours a week, man. It's insane. Like you got to go there and realize that you're there for you. You know, you
Yeah,
got
I
to think
know.
about
That's
you got to think about everything that you've got. You know, with your music, it's a huge thing. Like even with this podcast, you know, like yeah, it's not perfect. You know, yeah, we're still like trying to build this thing. Do we know what this thing is? No, but neither does anybody who's successful. Like people look at successful people and they say, "Oh my god, like they're at that level. I'll never reach." But they don't show all the in between. Yo, we got sirens going off in the back.
shut the
What?
fuck up.
Like yo, we got some
Jesus
bad.
fucking Christ, we can't have
Yo,
one fucking normal episode without having
yo.
fucking cop cars passing over every goddamn night.
Like
Jesus
we got
Christ, who
we got
fucking died this time?
yo, we got sirens going on and we got shootings in the back. Like, hey, yeah, this is this is the you know the dangerous podcast thing we got going on here.
I am so fucking sick of living in this goddamn town.
Uh, Believe me, there's
I'm
worse
so
places. There's definitely worse places.
yeah. At least I'm not in
Yeah,
Detroit.
it's not that bad. Like even you know every it's not just Detroit. Like it's everywhere. Like even our hometown. You got your good and your bad. No matter where you go, you know, like it doesn't matter. Like
Oh
there's
yeah,
always
I forgot. When we do this podcast, we got to make sure that we don't do it at the wrong time. Remember that fire alarm that used to go off every day around noon? It would freak our dog out.
oh yeah in the town. Yeah, they would do it at like every day at noon. Like just to let you
So
know it's noon. Like,
yeah, it was like this rising tone, and it was like so loud. It would freak our dogs out, especially
yeah,
the
like
Nook. He
I'm
was
I'm
German
sure
Shepherd of ours.
there's people around the world that are listening to this, and you know they're in far worse places. So I'm not complaining at all. You know, I'm
Yeah, I'm
here.
sorry I got angry. I only really did that for comedic effect.
Yeah, how dare you?
I,
Um,
I was just getting frustrated with the fact that like there was constant noise.
I swear. Nah, it'll be cool. Like I said, it'll be really cool once we you know once I'm back in the house and I'll have my own little podcast room and I'm you know having you down and we'll be able to. And that's the thing too is I would like to have guests on this podcast. You know, eventually, like
Yeah.
other people that can call in and we can have different types of conversations and you know
Yeah.
I mean who knows you know
But I am sorry for yelling, everybody.
yeah how
That's
dare you.
probably the that's probably the angriest that I've ever gotten on this stream. I usually don't like showing that side of me. That really only shows when I can't find the remote. First world problems, am I right?
Nah,
There's famine over in North Korea, but I'm mad because I can't find a fucking remote.
yeah. Nah, I think I don't know. I you know I just like having fun with it as much as we can.
Yeah.
You know?
In all seriousness, yes, I'm hoping that there will just be more room to grow.
Well, we just gotta keep at it. You know, episode after episode, and just try to intrigue as many people as we can. You know, and I think just that natural conversation, that's what will pull people in. You know.
Yeah, it's getting kind of sentimental in here. Uh, so about like I guess another talking point that I wanted to bring up about like the central theme of the episode was regarding other life out there. There are a lot of people who are saying that it's a bad idea that trying to communicate with them if they are complex sentient beings like us,
Hmm.
as we don't want some interplanetary war or something. But
Did you know, like
no,
back, I think it was like the '80s or something like that. They took a this like little capsule thing, and they sent this record, like this vinyl gold record, and they put like a bunch of sounds. Like they put like a baby crying. They put a bunch of other like some of the music we had in that time
And they
period. They
left a
put
note in it, right?
Yeah, they put it on this record and they sent it throughout space. And this thing is just traveling throughout space right now. And to whoever finds it, they play this and they would hear what sounds are like on Earth. Um, I thought that was so cool. You know, I think they put like a David Bowie song on there, if I remember right. Um, I
Makes
I
sense.
I just thought that was so cool. You know,
And
like you
to
think
my way of thinking, if there is a afterlife, Bowie probably didn't go to heaven. He probably went a little bit further up. I think he's traveling through space, personally. I'd like to think that,
yeah, I think
but
I don't know. Well, like whoever finds that, whoever they may be or whatever, I think that would be like a really cool like thing. You know what I mean?
but, yeah,
Like
I was just
what
thinking
is
about that. I was gonna bring it up actually. Why'd it get so quiet?
I was literally lighting an incense right now, trying to get the vibe.
You and
Yeah.
your aromatherapy
Hey man, I'm telling you,
shit.
you set the mood right. It's perfect. Like you sit
Yeah,
down to write a song. Like
I mean, I got my humidifier on right now, but that's really all I have. And I have this little disco light that I've been using in my room for a while. I want
you
to
have a
put like a
you have a disco light.
well, it's not like a full. It's just like a little light, but it has like sort of a textured lens on it, so it's the light kind of just has that appearance to it. I think it's on a disc and it's rotating, and that's how it's just a little thing. Like it fits in my hand, but yeah, that's really all I got. I want to put like a fog machine and like laser beams and stuff in here.
Yo, I used to have a fog machine. I used to use it all the time. My neighbors thought I caught the house on fire.
Or perhaps you know it's a great thing when you have a fog machine in your room. You can really hotbox the place. Then
I'm
they're
telling
gonna be
like
like you, hi, Caleb. No.
like we the one I used to have, I literally would do it so much that when I opened the window, you couldn't see from one end of my room to the other. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I did a quick tip if anybody who does use a fog machine, like old friend of mine taught me this. Like if you run out of like the liquid meant for it, you can make a cheap version of it by using glycerin and water. You can just use that and put it in the
Where
thing,
the
and
where the hell am I gonna find glycerin?
you can find them at pharmacies. I think
Glycerin?
you would, yeah, glycerin. Just look it up. It's a thing that you can do. I mean, he showed me and everything. I guess you could use regular sugar. I'm not too sure. It was a long time ago that he showed me that, but I don't know. I would suggest looking into it more before you do it. But
Yeah, I would think so.
no, but he
Hey,
did show me when I was over at his house, and it worked fantastically. So
I still don't know what happened to mine. Like I don't know what happened to it.
it,
I don't
it
remember.
either it was in that storage unit or it's still there at the house.
I don't think it's still at the house. I don't know. I'll know more when we go there in a couple weeks, but yeah.
But
I don't know, but I don't know, man. It's been I think it's been a pretty good episode, man. If anything,
yes,
we'll be back. Today's Monday, so we'll probably be back on maybe Wednesday or Thursday. We're trying to do two a week at least. For our audience out there, and you know. We have no
Yeah,
topics on here. We're just kind of talking about what we talk about. Like, subscribe, comment. If you have anything that you would like to chime in, any ideas,
yeah,
any of that, or even if you want to call in and be a co-host, we're open to everybody. So
yeah. Sorry if we may have gotten off a little off the beaten path. We
well,
went from
that's the
space to
thing.
fucking fog machine.
Well, that's the thing is we don't really have like we start off with a little bit of a topic, but there really is no topic when we're talking about this because really it's just conversation and just having fun and
Pretty
talking.
soon,
It's almost like a therapy.
we're gonna have like a guest on like 5 to 10 years from now, and they're gonna be like, "Do you see that video, Caleb? Pull it up. You ever
Yeah.
tried DMT?" you know,
we need
fucking
we need to get a visual going.
yeah. We need to get like cameras and shit.
Yeah, I mean maybe maybe we will down the road, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
but hey man, again, appreciate the time. We'll definitely get back at it and everybody listening, we're trying to do this at least twice a week. Took us a minute to get some of the audio going, but we're getting back at it and we're gonna try to make it right. Um
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that it would sound better this time and in
yeah,
future
yeah, yeah.
episodes.
Make the quality a little better, make the listening experience a little better and stuff. So but again, we appreciate everybody just tuning in to our little conversations we have. We're all over the place, but again, we don't have any topic. We just kind of we talk, and wherever direction it goes, it goes. So we appreciate everybody, and thanks for listening, man. And I appreciate your time, brother.
All right, it's no problem. Peace and love to everyone out there. And drink water and all that shit.
Stay hydrated and healthy.
Stay hydrated and um, yeah, just um, try to live the best life you can. Something sappy like that.
Yeah, we'll just end it on a sappy note.
Not sappy, but like something I guess positive like that. Just trying to as
Yeah.
be genuine as I can without sounding scripted.
All right, man. I appreciate it. I'll catch you later.